I would like to welcome you today to an extraordinary interview with two Chinese people who are dear friends of ours and have become dear people in our lives since 2014, and who I'm interviewing today about their work with consciousness interactive technology, and in this case, the Living from Vision course, which they practiced and also learned and shared with their friends and colleagues. Wang Gang and Hanye are greeting us today from the cold Beijing with snow, while I'm here in Bali where it's hot, and I am putting on a jacket just for you. I am welcoming you to see you here in our interview. Here's Wang Gang and Hanye. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Wang Gang has studied electronics and then went into philosophy, and his wife Hanye studied law and went into philosophy, where they met in their postgraduate work. And from there, their journey took them to understand the higher laws of the universe, which we will discuss some today in regards to living from vision. Hanye and Wang Gang, I welcome you. You both have been working in agriculture, utilizing informational fields to create greater yields, which is where the proof is in the pudding. And you've been working with living from vision in your personal life, envisioning personal success. You've helped some other people to gain access to the deeper understanding of what we might call the invisible laws of the universe that soon will be in the scientific literature. But right now, I would like your testimony, your experiences, to help viewers understand the power of consciousness as it creates physical changes on this planet. Would you summarize your background a little bit for our viewers, both of you? You are phenomenal in what you do. They don't do just a little plot of land. They do massive amounts of food production, radionic. They had an institute with 150 SE5s, right? Radionic instruments. Correct. Yes. So please tell us a little bit more about the greatness of yourself. I know that's not Chinese, but I would like you to address it to the Western mindset that does need to know that you are amazing pioneers in consciousness research. Over to you.
Yes, we graduated from grad school in 2014, and then we got involved in the research of the SE5.
Yeah, that's how we met.
We used the SE5 to do the organic farming. We use information to help the plants grow better, and instead of fertilizers, and we use the technology to distract the information from the traditional Chinese medicine, and then help people with their health. That's basically what we do. And I remember in 2015, and we met you, and you introduced Living from Vision to us, and we felt really connected, and we decided right away that we will get deeper into this field and learn the course. So the very next year, 2016, I remember, we took the teacher's training course in Bali. And then after that, and we basically have been practicing Living from Vision
since then.
Almost every day to achieve our goals, to be clear with our visions, and to help us focus, locked in the process. And we also introduced this technique to some of our friends and colleagues, and some of them achieved great success.
Yeah,
I remember it. You sent me the PDF with their testimonies. I will hopefully find some of those pictures and maybe put them here in the film at the right place. And I would love to have you tell our viewers, since you've been doing the exercises for about 7 years, how has it helped you? And these are 3 parts that I'd like you to explain to us in creating some of your dreams come true, and how it addressed your level of happiness, or how it addresses your level of happiness. And number 3, how consistency really makes a difference, because a lot of people go shopping, do one course, do another course, do something else. They hear the latest, greatest, But what do you have to say about continued discipline? Over to you.
I think living from vision for me is like it's a long process, and it makes me more clear about what do I really want. That's one thing I learned. I think it's the most significant thing for the whole course for me is I learned from you is what do you really want? You always, your words is like in my ear, and to let me focus on what do I really want, because I think it's for me, like we live in East Asia, we grow up in this kind of circumstances. When we were little, we were pushed to study hard. When we were at work, we pushed to work harder. So most of us, maybe we don't have the time and space to stop and
reflect on what we really want.
To ask about ourselves, what do we really want? Because I think most people, my friends, I mean, like we are fulfilling other people's expectations rather than listen to our heart. So I think it's, for me, it's
something missing in our education.
Yeah. And you know that is not just the Eastern world, that is the Western world too. We have the ideals as to what we need to do to fit in. I bet you most of us don't spend, when we get angry, we don't ask ourselves, what do I really want? When we are looking forward towards our career. I just sat with a multimillionaire business coach here from Germany, here in Bali, and he said, if we could just bring this to the schools when the children have to decide their life's path, we need to bring them to realize what their inner heart's dream is, and then use those talents to the best.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I introduced some of the course to my boy. To help him recognize his emotions and to control.
He's feeling angry.
Yeah, and it's working. It's good.
Yeah.
Tell me more about it. I'm excited to hear that.
He gets angry sometimes, and because kids, and then when he gets calmer, and when the anger goes away, then we have the conversation. So I tell him about the emotions. You should negotiate, talk with the emotions.
Because you told us if you have an emotion, for example, if it's anger, you can ask about this emotion. You can imagine it's like a picture, like a balloon or something like that. You can talk with the picture and you can negotiate with it. What do you really want? So mostly our bad feelings, the negative emotions, behind the negative emotions, we always have a good willing. That's what I experienced by asking these questions. So it's really helpful for people to, getting calm and being peaceful again.
I'm very grateful that I can introduce this to my kid, because to make his growth, his education more complete. So he's luckier than me.
Absolutely. I am sitting here with chills all over. As you know, I've written the children's book, and I have the app in many, many languages, including Russian and Hindi and English and French and German. And children have grown up with this. And I know children who've grown up with this method for 30 years now. Teachers who've used it in their classrooms. Some in America. One lady wrote her PhD on it. She worked with at-risk kids, Dr. Bobby Barn, turned their lives around. Other German grammar teachers, they say the same thing. You give rich tools and broaden the scope of the psychology of the children of our modern world to go away from the external driven, even whether it's China or the West, to internally driven and making choices, and then learning to cooperate with the larger field of information, universe, however we want to call it, and then become an agent of change rather than be a reactive element in the keg of the wheel of life and time on planet Earth. Over to you.
I also, there's another phrase that's really influenced me a lot. That is living from vision rather than reaction. That's what also I learned from the book. And I memorize that, because a lot of times for me is I really react to the circumstances, to my environment. So a lot of times my emotions will be driven by the things. Yeah.
Yes.
But living from vision rather than the problem, the reaction to the outer world makes me, I can come back
to the vision.
Yeah.
Focus
on the inside. What is it that is driving this driver, and what does my inner self, my true self, my soul, my essence really want to create? And it is, like you said so beautifully, Hanye, it's always something positive. Even the anger wants something positive in the end. And I can't thank you enough sharing this. Tell me one of your magical manifestations that you had with just one of the goals you set with the Living from Vision course.
Yeah.
Actually, there are so many.
Bali.
Yeah, but I really
one.
want to share the experience of making the trip to Bali.
Yeah, 4 months.
Reality. Yeah.
This year.
That was last winter. We came up with the vision that we want to move to Bali and stay there for a few months. But during that time, it was impossible to travel.
Yeah.
To travel abroad because of the COVID thing, and we couldn't get our new passports, so we couldn't travel at all. But we created this vision and we believed it.
Yeah, we just do it mentally in our mind.
We practice every morning. We visualize what the sunshine and the ocean and the feelings, the tropical air.
Yeah,
I wrote. We recorded. We recorded something. Yeah, like a podcast. And we wrote something and put it on the social media and telling people that
we want to go there,
created this
we
vision.
want to experience this.
We even found a school for my boy.
Before we went there, we found the school.
Before we got the new passports, before we booked everything, and we found the school. We discovered the area that we want to stay, everything. But that was the most serious time of the COVID thing in China.
Yeah.
So, but we never gave up on that vision. And after a few months, just right after the Chinese New Year, then the policy and the protocols changed overnight. And we got the new passports. Wow. We booked the flights and the hotels, and it just happened.
Yes.
And to have the faith, and to now, of course, this is 7 years later after, well, this was like 6 years after you started. You know it works, and you use it, even though in the face of calamity, it goes like, no, it shouldn't be, but you know, reality changes, and they change the entire system. I am so excited to have you share that story. And you fulfilled it. We met you here in Bali. It is so exciting.
Yeah. And for the most of the time we spent in Bali, I fulfilled most of the wish list, because before we went there, before we could get our passport and the tickets, I just Googled and I make a list of places, restaurants or spas or hotels or activities on my list. So I make a vision board also.
Yes.
So it all happens mostly.
Awesome.
I mean, not 100%. Yeah, 90%. I'm so satisfied with the outcome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is so awesome. Hanye, I would like to remind you of when you first came to Bali and you took the teacher training. I remember you had just also changed your fundamental belief in saying, no, I should be having no wishes, no goals. And the training you had taken led you to become much more distant from engaging in matter.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that period.
Right. So, and many people have that belief. This universe we should get away from. We shouldn't get our feet too deeply in. And then over one lunch, I remember asking you, okay, I understand you don't want to create anything, but this is over lunch now. If you did, what would be one wish you really have? And do you remember what you told me? The retreat center.
Yeah. Yes. That wish was created at Shambhala at your place. Before I went there, I didn't know I have such kind of wish in my head. But when I saw you, when I was in there taking the course and living in Shambhala, I think I love the environment there, and I love the course you are giving us, and I love the whole experience there. So after I experienced that, I wish I could have such kind of place to offer to other people, and make them be clear about their wishes, knowing more about themselves, getting more happier. So yeah, I had that wish, and then later on it also came true.
Please tell us.
Yeah, at that time I thought it's impossible. I mean, I had this wish, but also maybe it sounds like impossible for you, and for the at that time I don't see any resources to support me to have that. You know, we are working on with SE5s with my father and other colleagues. So when I go back to China, somehow we have this opportunity in the Tai'an, another city. Now we are living in Beijing. So we at that time we work in Shandong. Tai'an is a city of Shandong. There's a mountain in Tai'an, and it's a very famous mountain in China. So their government invite our company to work there to do more research about SE5 and things like that. So they give us the places, a lot of
in the middle of the mountain.
Yeah, office and the living area. I thought it's a perfect place for people to come and relax and do meditation, and you know. So I didn't know. I just realized one of my wish, like a retreat center.
Yeah.
Life. And I remember at that lunch, you said, I want nature all around me. And I'm like going, I'm not going to say anything. Yes, I know it takes a tremendous amount of whatever resources, as you know. And I'm not going to say I don't believe it. I'm just going to be quiet. She finally, in the middle of her rather, why am I even taking a teacher training when I don't believe in setting goals or having wishes anymore? Like at the bottom end of that, you said, well, if I did make up a wish, that'd be one of them. So tell me a little bit about how you were able to inspire others to, or anything else you want to share, Wangang. I know you might have something you want to share with us before I move to that question.
Yeah. I thought Living from Vision was about achieving goals and visions at the beginning. I thought it was just techniques to achieve success. But then the more I practice it, the more I realized that it's about exploring who you are. When you build a vision, and you will explore why you want that, and you will get deeper into your values, what kind of person you are, and what kind of person you want to become. And so then I realized that. So it's about growing. It's about growth, becoming a new person, and an ideal self. And that's not the end. When I realized that everyone has the ability to become anyone you like. That's who we really are. That's who we really are. So this course, I was attracted by, achieving my goals,
manifesting
achieving
your dreams.
success. But then I realized I can create anything. There's infinite potentials in everyone, not just me, in everyone. But there are many fears and doubts around. So we need to work on that and to become the person that we
You want to be.
Yeah.
Dream of becoming. Yes. And
Yes,
often,
yes. I
yes.
cannot express it in the foreign language.
Yes, you are amazing at speaking this amazing English. You know, when you were speaking, I just got inspired that we oftentimes think of the goals we want to achieve and even how we achieve goals in a step-by-step fashion, more like this is how I'm going to get to what I want to feel, who I want to become. And you reminded me again and again, and this is why I love doing the course myself, being with people who do the work, is really we need to think of where is it that I want to be, who and what is it I want to be, rather than thinking of the way to get there. Like if you had thought of the retreat center takes millions of dollars. No, it took simply you to say that's what I really want, and the feeling of it. Then the details came in at the right time, and when you changed your feelings, it changes as yes. So thank you for being an inspiration. And how would you say, you know, because you started the course when we in the beginning we say on a happiness scale from 1 to 10, where are you? Where were you and where have you come during the course and after the course and as you use the material from Living from Vision on the happiness scale from 1 to 10?
Before I took
Yeah.
the course.
Before I took the course, I almost forgot what we
Remember what you wrote down? You probably wrote down a number.
Yeah,
there is an average number everybody writes down. What did you?
Score 7.
Low.
Yeah, my score was 6 or 7.
6.5 is the norm. 6.5 on a scale from 0 to 10 is the norm of how happy most people perceive themselves. So then, can you tell us what happened later?
Yeah, for now, I think I can scale 9 or 8.5, 9.
Wow.
Yeah, because most of the time since I had this course, most of the time I just ask about myself, what do I really want. So most of the choices, the movements, the actions is just happening according to my wish.
I react.
Yeah.
Sometimes I still react, but I can realize that I'm reacting. Exactly. So I come back.
Yeah, we just come back from the, you know, what we used to be more faster than before.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we have the consciousness to get back on the track, get back to focus on what you really want, not focus on something you don't
wrestling
want.
with the scenario.
Right, exactly. Not focusing on the limitations, but focusing on the potential, which then brings forth all the realities that you really are in resonance with, which is what occupies our heart and mind the most of the time.
Yeah.
Cool, absolutely. Beautiful. Tell me, how was it sharing the information with friends and colleagues and passing that information on and seeing how they too could become more empowered?
Yeah. One of my colleague, he had a crush on a young woman.
A girl,
but he didn't have the courage to express his feelings. So by practicing together, we practice Living from Vision meditation. Yeah, in the morning. So his vision is to
get a girlfriend. Yeah. Because that colleague is in China. If a man don't get married for a certain age, their parents will be very anxious and they will push them to get a girl and get married and have babies. He's being have this pressure all the time. So and at that time we just finished the Living from Vision course, and I think maybe you have any problems or any goals you don't know how to achieve, you can talk about it and let's try this method. Yeah, we just delivered what Living from Vision, the topics, the books, and to practice it. Not maybe only 2 or 3 weeks, not reach the 5 weeks. and not until 5 weeks
For the
finished.
5 weeks were done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He and that girl, the dream girl, they got connected, and the relationship is getting better. And now they already married for a few years.
Many years.
Many years.
Awesome.
Got married.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Yes, a lot of times, again, visualizing that it can happen. Do you remember if you told him to just focus on the feeling of fulfillment rather than
Yes.
saying this
Yes.
girl has to be the one?
Yeah. I told him about what do you really want from this relationship, and what do you really want for, just imagine you already have this
Being
girl.
with the one.
Yeah. And what would you feel? He did the meditation, and he really felt about the guided meditation. Yeah, he did it seriously.
And
Yeah.
so
He was shy, and he didn't have the courage to express to the girl. And then after that, and it just
Something
happened naturally.
awesome. So
I didn't know much about the details.
right. I remember the first time when I heard about this method, it was my then meditation teacher, now my husband of 40 years, who told me. I was telling him I was married at the time, and I said, I'm not this and I'm not that happy, and he won't do this and won't do that. And he said, what is it do you really want? And he said, every morning, imagine that you have that fulfillment. But he said, and this is what I wanted to ask you, don't visualize the face of the person you think is going to fulfill that. Just leave that up to the universe, but be in the state of what you wish to be. Right.
Same.
I had once one of my students in the Living from Vision teacher training was a filmmaker from Germany, and he decided to test the power of his own abilities when teaching the first Living from Vision class. And he said, okay, I want, and he imagined a cabriolet, an Audi, and it had to be the color blue. And then he imagined sitting inside of the car, driving it, the hair flowing in the wind. And the symbol of that feeling was freedom. And freedom to him was represented as a bird. So he didn't visualize the car, he visualized exactly the feeling of that he wanted to get from driving this kind of car. In 3 weeks' time, he got a call and said, by the way, you won a prize. You have this Audi Cabriolet. And he's like, oh my God, what color is it? And it was red. He made us come to Wiesbaden, where he had the car, to look at it. But I'm just on the story of cars. But I like how you said, manifesting material things is one thing, but joy, happiness, handling your anger, developing and becoming a greater person, that's the bigger picture of living your vision, living from vision.
Yeah.
It helps you not only get your goals, but it helps you handle challenges and handle the difficulties in life with more equanimity, with a greater sense of balance and peace. And my God, that is the hope of all the different teachings of Eastern and Western teachings, to help us become centered and to realize that a lot of it starts from the inside and goes out. And learn. And we are here on planet Earth not to have everything given to us instantly, but I mean, yes, it may happen that way, but we are here to grow as beings. We are here to become greater beings, more vibrant, stronger. And of course, the challenges, at a higher evolutionary level are appropriate for that level.
It's like looking at mirrors.
Yes.
When you when you're reacting and you see yourself, it's what kind of fear you have, what kind of anxiety, and then you learn more about yourself, and you're more aware.
And then you rise to the next level of mastery and say, what is it that I really want? And instead of buying into the polarity, I always say, it's just the left and the right side. You rise above it. And when you can see both sides equally without fighting it, then you have mastered it, and you live with the liberty of that mastership. And that is what Living from Vision is about. It's a path to become a greater being and to master increasingly complex time-space polarities, and to become the dreamer and to realize the connection between you as an internal source of consciousness, mirroring yourself in the outside world. The canvas of life is your teacher and your school. And thank you to Dr. Rod Newton, who developed the course. With whom together I recorded the audios, and from then have taken it around the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for all the viewers who have not read any of my books, I write about the miracles of our consciousness in my books: Wisdom of the Dolphin, Dolphin's Love and Destiny, Dream Big, the Universe is Listening, my children's book, Eileen Learns to Use His Imagination, and some co-authored books with Jack Canfield and Brian Tracy. And I thank you for being here. Pass this information along, and or join me in test driving the Living from Vision course. You will find the link below where you can explore a personal little vision quest and get the taste of what it feels like to go inward. Thank you both, Hanye and Wangang. I really love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being in my life. Mwah. Okay, over.
So
Bye.